Okay, next will be our guest speaker, our Senator Vincent Leibell, who needs very little introduction. Served as a captain in military, federal. He served, he probably held every rank possible, and I think he's looking at Rear Admiral now, but he's always been here for everybody in the area, for the veterans and for all kinds of organizations, the fire department. He never turns anybody down. He's going to be our guest speaker today. It's my honor to present Senator Vincent Leibell.
Thank you very much, Al, and to my fellow veterans and my fellow Americans, it is truly an honor to be with you today, in which today is one of our, and this weekend is one of our saddest holidays. This is a holiday when we pause, and we commemorate, and we think about those who've gone before. And I have to say, as St. Galeb said, listening to that list of names of young soldiers who gave their lives, and sailors and airmen, from a small community, that represents, statistically, a tremendous sacrifice. But much more than any number can indicate is the tremendous loss to a family, to friends, to those who might have been in the future, except that person is no more. In one of our newspapers this morning, there's a picture of a young woman at a national cemetery, lying flat out on the ground over a grave of her fiancé, who was a Marine Corps sergeant killed in Iraq. No number can tell that story. That is what might have been. And that is the saddest story of all. I thought this morning, upon seeing that, of the other images that have stayed in my mind over the course of years. There's a well-known photograph from one of the islands in the Pacific in World War II of the temporary graves laid out in the mud of the young Marines who'd been killed on that island in the previous few hours. Sad enough in its own right. But on his knees in front of that grave of that young Marine Corps private, kneeling in prayer, was his father, a Marine Corps colonel, also in combat. And his father's comments over his boy's grave was thinking about the other Marines, and he said, poor souls, they didn't have their father with them. Another very sad picture was famous during World War II when the aircraft carrier Yorktown went down. And they went into full speed to replace that carrier with a new Yorktown. And at the christening of that carrier, they had the sons of the men who died on that carrier in the Pacific. Those young boys there to continue and to wish Godspeed to their father's dreams and their nation's hopes. I had the chance the other day to watch on TV something I had not seen before. Commandant of the Marine Corps, senior flag officers and senior NCOs gathered together similarly in a service with the children of deceased veterans. trying to bring them together to understand what their parents' sacrifice meant. And in this war, the parents who were lost were both men and women. And it happened before, but significantly now. Quite an image. So as we are here today, and we take a few moments out of our lives to think not in terms of the numbers, the statisticians can tell us what they are, but to think of the tremendous personal loss of those individuals who gave up their lives, the loss to their family members, their fiancés, and to the unborn, who never would have those fine individuals as parents. The only way we can honor them and commemorate them is to recognize what a great country we live in and the price that has been paid for us to enjoy this greatest of all nations. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator.